Good evening. If I could get everyone's attention for one moment, please. I'm Tom Hiles, Vice President for Institutional Advancement at Western, and really pleased to have everyone here. This is a very special occasion. When you connect scholarship donors with scholarship recipients, something magic happens, and we're really excited to see the next step in this process. We tried it 3 years ago and had a reception, and this dinner tonight is an evolution of that process. We're going to have a few speakers tonight, but the major element of tonight's event is already happening, and that is the interaction between scholarship donors and scholarship recipients. Before I talk about that for a minute and introduce the individual who's going to give our invocation, I did want to introduce a few people. First of all, a few of my colleagues who are on the Administrative Council. Barbara Birch, our provost, is here tonight. Barbara, will you wave your hand? Thank you. Also, several deans are here. Sam Evans from the College of Education. Sam. Thank you, Sam. Blaine Farrell. John Bonaguro. John. Bob Reber is here also from the college, the Gordon Ford College of Business. And David Lee. David Lee from Potter College. Would you all join me in welcoming the deans? Additionally, Mayor Sandy Jones is here. Mayor Jones, will you stand and be recognized? Thank you for coming. And I saw three important coaches who are here as well, and I'm going to mention actually four individuals. I saw Coach Elson just step in. Coach Elson, please stand and be recognized. Our football coach. We have Mary Taylor Cowles, who's here tonight, representing the Lady Toppers. And also Darren Horn, joining us from the men's basketball team. Darren? I think that Judy Woodring is here as well. Judy, are you here? Maybe not, but Judy has a number of scholarship recipients from our national forensics champions, and actually they're our international champions, and we're very honored to have those individual students here as well. In a minute, I'm going to introduce Alex Downing, but before I do that, I just want to say a couple words about scholarships as they relate to overall giving at Western. We just announced on September 18th raising $102 million for this campus. That was a magnificent achievement. Two of our highest priorities within that overall goal were endowed professorships and support for academic priorities, and secondly, endowed scholarships. In the endowed scholarship category, there were three major components. One was academic access. Western has always prided itself in being accessible to students who are able to basically be entered into and have the academic components to be able to be enrolled at Western, and we want to maintain that accessibility. So that's one component of scholarship support. Another one is related to academic achievement. We want to be able to attract bright students who achieve from the academic standpoint. And thirdly, we wanted to be able to provide scholarships for special niche scholarships such as athletics, such as nursing programs, such as forensics. I could go on, but having those special scholarships that donors step forward and want to support are an important part of the overall campaign, and $29 million of both endowed and non-endowed scholarships were raised during the 5 years for the campaign. So I think that was certainly an important highlight of our overall campaign effort. So with that, and I'm keeping you from dinner, so I want to move forward, I would like to introduce my colleague, Alex Downing, who's here representing the College Heights Foundation, who will say a few words on behalf of the foundation as well as to give our opening invocation. Alex?
I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening. I am confident that the scholarship recipients who are here tonight appreciate the support you've received from generous donors who provided assistance and encouragement to further your education. I think it's important that we know the motivation and the reason why we have such a great gathering of individuals, many of whom have come from long distances tonight and given unselfishly of their time and their financial resources. It is because of their unwavering belief in the importance of education. It is because of their concern for the welfare of others. It is because of their benevolent spirit that stirs their souls and embodies the motto, Western's motto, "The Spirit makes the master." And it is because of their devotion to Western Kentucky University, and in many cases to the individuals who they have remembered and honored with their actions. So I think all of us should pause and express gratitude to these individuals and realize why we are here. I would like to share with you and close my comments in sharing an excerpt from a thank you letter that was written by one of our recipients to one of our donors who's here this evening that I think best sums up and describes why we are here and why this event is important. I would like to thank you for giving me this scholarship. It is much like the word grace. I consider grace to be something that you get, that you do not necessarily deserve, but get free. You do not have to pay it back or worry about it. You just have to be thankful for it, accept it, and be grateful that you were given the opportunity. Thank you for being so graceful to me. I am truly the most thankful person today because someone took me under their wing and gave me something that I truly needed. I'd like to give the invocation and then we will be dismissed to go through the buffet lines. Would you please pray with me? Our gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to join in fellowship. Thank you for the many individuals that have given of their time and their talents and their financial resources to provide scholarship opportunities for young people. Thank you for the students of Western Kentucky University and be with them in their future endeavors. Please bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
But we do have a few other folks who are going to give remarks tonight, and we have a short video that we're going to show in a moment. But before I introduce our two next speakers, I did fail to introduce an important member of the Western community, our Board of Regents member, Lois Gray. Lois, would you stand, please? Lois, I saw you earlier. There she is. With me tonight, we've had the opportunity over the last couple of years to both have an individual who spoke as a recipient for the students, a scholarship recipient perspective, and then one from a scholarship donor as well. And so we have with us tonight Betsy Tracy, who will speak first as a scholarship recipient. perspective, and then we will have a view from Angela Gibbs-Martin, who is going to give us a perspective from the donor. So with that, let me introduce Betsy Ann Tracy. Please join me in welcoming her.
Okay. I bet everyone here knows who Dr. Phil is. Dr. Phil has all the answers to everyone's problems. There have been many days that I wish he had been in my house. I remember seeing him when he was still a regular guest on Oprah. He said, everyone should write down the 3 biggest things you want to accomplish in life. Not 4, not 5, only 3. As we set our future goals, he suggested we need to eliminate anything and everything that is not working toward what we want to accomplish. Many of us waste hours of our time working on things that are not important, things that won't make us happy. This is one aspect of my life that I am trying to change, but still struggle with. For example, this week I took some extra time off work because I was so worried and stressed about giving this speech. Of course it's important, and I hope it will not waste your time, but my speech would probably have not been much different had I not taken off work and worried myself half to death. The deadline for me to deliver didn't come any sooner or any later. But as I stand here tonight, I want you to know how happy I am to be here to tell you about my scholarship and what a difference it has made in my life. The Todd Gibbs Memorial Scholarship was established in memory of a young man who spent most of his life beating the odds of cystic fibrosis. Initially, I appreciated the scholarship, mostly from a financial standpoint. I grew up on a dairy and tobacco farm. I did my share of the chores. I was accustomed to hard work. However, as a college freshman, I took 17 hours of classes and worked 20 to 30 hours a week. I still lived at home, and I didn't have much time for a social life. This scholarship allowed me to work less hours and devote more time to my studies. Also, I was able to cancel my college loan, move to Bowling Green, and enjoy the social aspects of college life, which sometimes I enjoy a little too much. Last fall, the semester started out as usual. Like everyone, I had ideas, goals, and things to do. As a family consumer sciences education major, everything was rolling along great until 2 weeks before finals. Then, life as I knew it came to a screeching halt. I was diagnosed with a rare form of ovarian cancer, and it seemed as if time stood still for my family and I. The yesterdays and tomorrows were forgotten as I was forced to deal with surgery, extensive chemotherapy, and months of recovery. Emotionally and physically, all I could handle was one day at a time. This is when my scholarship began to mean more to me than financial assistance. During my illness, my family, friends, teachers, especially my advisor, Dr. Sikora, and all of Western's administration were extremely supportive. Even Western's past president, Mr. Darrow Downing, called me on Thanksgiving Day to let me know he was thinking of me. He wanted to know if there was anything I needed and wished me well before my surgery. The kindness and love shown to me by everyone was more than I would have ever imagined. In addition, prior to getting sick, I learned a lot about Todd Gibbs from his friends and also from administrators who worked with him at Western. I also met Todd's mother, Larissa, a couple of years ago at a Western scholarship reception. Over the past 2 years, our friendship has grown as we learned more about one another. Larissa shared Todd's journal with me while I was recuperating. While Todd was in the hospital, he had written down his thoughts nearly every day as he waited a lung transplant. He wrote about his pain, his suffering, but also about his hopes and dreams. Even though he endured the physical aspects of the disease, his positive attitude allowed him to enjoy life and do more in 31 years he lived than most people accomplish in a lifetime. Todd's strength and determination, along with his mother's encouragement, meant a lot to me. Like the Todd Gibbs Memorial Scholarship, many of the scholarships awarded are in memory of a loved one who has contributed to the success of their community. These and other scholarships are available because people with good, generous hearts want to make this world a better place than they found it. Donors, thank you for choosing to invest in our future. Please know that you are making a difference in our lives. Students, let's be the best we can be. Western, thank you for bringing us together. Hopefully we will continue the tradition of being a good citizen, a leader in the community, and will strive to make a difference in our world. Thankfully today I'm back in college and cancer-free. And thinking back to good old Dr. Phil, I want to challenge each of you to think about the 3 accomplishments you want to achieve in life and start working toward them. Also, I hope the donors and recipients will truly make an effort to get to know each other. My illness was a huge eye-opener, and I now know there is a silver lining in every cloud. Life is not always fair, no matter how hard a person tries. We cannot control everything that happens, but we can control how we react to each situation. That is what truly counts. I only ask, please live each day to the fullest, because tomorrow is not promised for any of us. Thank you.
Yesterdays and tomorrows, the past and the future. Tonight we gather to celebrate our future, the aspiring and inspiring recipients of tonight's scholarships. But tonight is also about honoring the past and those in whose names these scholarships are given. It is my privilege to tell you a little bit about my brother, Todd Gibbs. The Todd Gibbs Memorial Scholarship was founded 7 years ago following the death of my brother of cystic fibrosis, a fatal genetic disease. It has been extremely rewarding to our family to see this scholarship grow from 1 scholarship to 3 full tuition renewable scholarships that it is today. When developing the guidelines for this scholarship, we wanted them to reflect on the values of really how Todd lived his life. For example, one of the qualities that we seek is a living commitment of serving others. Todd served on the board of directors for 12 organizations in his local Allen County, including the Parks and Recreation Council, Literacy Council, and Crime Stoppers. He was a member of the Allen County Chamber of Commerce, participated in the Adopt a Highway program, and much to the dismay of his pulmonologist, was a volunteer firefighter. And he was elected to 2 terms as a Scottsville City Councilman, a position he held until his death. But Todd had a special place in his heart for the youth of Allen County, and I think it's because he was such a kid at heart. He was a chaperone for numerous school activities, served as the president of the high school booster club, coached Little League softball in the summer, basketball in the winter, and was an assistant scoutmaster, a substitute teacher, and a Camp Joy counselor. And in his free time, he read to elementary school children. Now, for his community service, he received numerous awards, including the J.C.'s Outstanding Young Kentuckian in 1980, the State and National CF Representative, and Allen County's Outstanding Citizen of the Year, an honor he received twice. Now, Todd was also very active in his church. He was a Sunday school teacher, a deacon, and with 2 bad lungs, he sang every Sunday in the church choir. Now, while my brother's faith was very evident in the way he lived his life, I asked him one day, "Do you ever get angry at God for giving you this disease?" I knew on occasion that I did, but not Todd. In the manner of a parent trying to explain a very complicated situation to a very slow child, my brother explained to me, God did not give him CF. 2 bad genes from his parents gave him CF. God helped him fight it. Then he said, "You know, sis, the worst thing that CF can do to me is kill me. But you know what? It can't keep me from living." CF to Todd was simply an obstacle in his path, not the end of his journey. Which is why we look forward to awarding a scholarship to persons who demonstrate the ability to overcome obstacles in pursuit of their dreams. You see, it wasn't so much that Todd wouldn't allow obstacles to get into his path, he just wouldn't let them stay there. One of my brother's greatest loves was basketball. Now at 5'4", and he lied about his height, he was not exactly NBA material. So he channeled his love for the sport into a different path. He served as a high school basketball trainer for 4 years, and in 1987, he established and later managed one of the most successful independent high school girls varsity basketball tournaments of the South, the Lady Invitational of the South, in which top teams from as far away as Australia participated. And he even became an accredited high school basketball referee, and this was with a 30% loan capacity. Now, yes, Todd had to work harder than most to accomplish his goals, but Todd valued hard work, a quality that we also seek in our recipients. Throughout Todd's life, he worked every day pretty much to support himself. And while he was eligible to receive disability, he refused to accept it because, as he explained to me, disability was for people who were disabled. While in high school, he worked part-time at a local radio station and ran his own DJ service called Scoop Sounds. After graduating in 1989, he wrote a weekly column for the local newspaper while holding the position as radio news director for WVLE. In 1990, Todd fulfilled another dream by enrolling here at Western. Now, to finance his education, because we were kind of poor, he worked at Western's Community Affairs office during the day, worked at a bank at night, refereed ball games on the weekend, continued his DJ service, served as a city councilman, all while taking a full load at Western and maintaining a 3.0 grade point average. He completed his college education in only 4 years and graduated from Western with a degree in mass communication. After graduating, he joined Western's Department of Special Events, a position he held until his death. And all these things he accomplished in between 100 hospitalizations. But it wasn't just what Todd accomplished that was so inspiring, but the way in which he did it. Being around Todd was a lot like being around a campfire. There was always joy, light, and laughter. Lots of laughter. Todd loved to laugh. And even though he fought a daily battle with a fatal disease, he never lived in fear. He lived in the moment. One of his favorite quotes by the wise sage Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the Starship Enterprise, "Make now, always, the most precious time. Now will never come again. Seize the day." And he did, with unabandoned joy and copious amounts of laughter. At my brother's funeral, a colleague of mine came to pay his respects. He did not know Todd personally, only by reputation. But he had been touched by Todd's life nonetheless. My colleague told me, he said, "Angela, I grieve for your brother for the years that he's lost. And I grieve for your family for the years that you've lost with him. But most of all, I grieve for those who never knew him because they have lost the most." And that is why this scholarship means so much. For those of us who knew Todd, through this scholarship, Todd continues to make a difference in the lives of young people like April Ash, Beth Pearson, and of course, Betsy Tracy, in whom we are all so very proud. Through this scholarship, he continues to inspire and encourage others. to overcome obstacles in the pursuit of their dreams. It was 8 years ago this very day that we grieved when we buried my brother. But tonight, we celebrate because through the Todd Gibbs Scholarship, a part of him continues to live. Thank you.
I just want to echo again how much I admire both of these two young women. Please join me in thanking them again for their comments.
People that are making things possible at this university. And if there's ever an embodiment of a university family where one part of that family is aiding another part of that family in meaningful ways and affecting people's lives, affecting people's community, and making things possible, you just witnessed it tonight. This is the Western family. We're grateful. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Next thing I want to do is ask each of our benefactors in the room tonight, if you're part of a family, part of a corporation, or an individual who has made a contribution to this campaign or any other scholarship program in the history of this institution, if you've been part of a scholarship gift as a donor, please stand up. Please stand up. Okay, students, let's give them a hand. Now, if you want to see our future, well, all the students that are with us tonight who have been the recipient, the beneficiary of the benefactor's support, well, all students who are receiving scholarships from these individuals and many other individuals like the ones who just stood, will you please stand up, students? This is our future. You look around at this group that just stood before you, and you can't help but be encouraged, to be motivated, to be inspired to all the things that this university is about. We're about progress, we're about learning, we're about education, we're about economic development, we're about quality of life, we're about prosperity for everybody who lives within the broad reach of this institution, whether it's this city, this county, this region, the state, the nation, and indeed the globe, with over 500 international students on our campus. But you look at the young people with us tonight, and you think about that future, and you think about how encouraging it is. And if you're not proud of the support that you provided for these scholarships, then we are certainly proud, and you must know how grateful we are for what you're doing to make the kind of spirit and the kind of intellectual capacity that you just saw before you possible. And that's what this dinner tonight is about. It's an opportunity to say thank you, but it's an opportunity to swell with pride and encouragement for the future. The College Sites Foundation and the WKU Foundation, the staff, the volunteers, particularly the volunteers who work so hard for both of those organizations to create the kind of capacity that we celebrate tonight, is so significant. Let me just give you some general information that I think you'll find inspiring. At Western, this year, we'll offer 3,520 merit scholarships that are awarded to 2,384 students that are a direct result of gifts from individuals who have made those scholarships possible. Now, we got a lot of other scholarships that's part of the university budget and a lot of other aid programs that we provide through the university. But the scholarships that we're celebrating tonight are the ones that are made possible by benefactors like many of you in this room. The College Sites Foundation is the principal train that we like to ride for our scholarship program. The College Sites Foundation was created in 1923, and since that time, over 90% of the funds in the College Sites Foundation are designated for academic scholarships, and they house 341 endowed scholarships and are now providing over $800,000 annually for scholarship support to students across this campus. The WKU Foundation, a little bit younger, was founded in 1993. About 25% of the funds in the WKU Foundation funds scholarships, and they are now providing over $300,000 in support annually for academic scholarships across this campus. The endowments of those two foundations is now some $60 million, supported largely through the success of the capital campaign that you witnessed in the video. And these two organizations are dedicated to the betterment of the intellectual capacity of the students they serve. And we're so fortunate to have organizations like this that benefactors like you have confidence in, not only in the manner in which the funds are being received, but the manner in which they're being managed, and the manner in which they go directly to support the students before you. You saw in the video the $29 million generated through the capital campaign that we just recently celebrated. This campaign was started on July 1, 1998, went 5 years, and was drawn to a conclusion with a $102 million success story on June 30, 2003, just this past summer. But that campaign, yes, a lot of money was raised. A lot of the benefactors are with us tonight who made that $102 million possible, and that $29 million of that total for academic scholarships. And the money is terrific. The money is allowing us to be nationally competitive in the recruitment of the very best students, many of whom are in this room, to be found in Kentucky or any other state. And it's giving us some capacity to improve facilities. We had 27 endowed professorships or chairs raised during this campaign. A tremendous impact across our campus. But let me tell you what it did in addition to the dollars raised that result in scholarships and professorships and facilities improvements. It has changed the culture of this institution. It has raised the self-esteem of Western Kentucky University, the institutional self-confidence to be ambitious and know that we can be successful. It has allowed us to raise our sights to become something that was of regional importance is now becoming nationally prominent. It has given us the confidence, the encouragement, and the capacity to know that we can compete with any university in this nation in any endeavor, whether it's in the classroom, the laboratory, the athletic court, the athletic field, whatever the case may be. We know we can be competitive, and we know that we are indeed emerging as a nationally prominent institution. Were it not for this capital campaign, I don't know that we would have that confidence as an institution, because we were raising this money. We are raising this money. We're continuing to raise money. We're not going to go backward. We are doing this, making this kind of progress at a time when most institutions are wringing their hands about the next budget cut or what they're going to have to do to retrench or to just hold their own. We're going forward, and we're going forward in a progressive, visionary manner, and it is being made possible by the benefactors in this room, the students that are receiving your support, the faculty, the staff, the coaches, everybody else in this room who are making so many things possible throughout this campus. And from my perspective, I could not be more fortunate to be part of a university family where you have the kinds of things that we're hearing about tonight, and the kind of adrenaline and the energy and the excitement and the anticipation of the future that is found all across this campus. We are indeed in the midst of a transformation, and that transformation is being made possible by an awful lot of people who care very deeply about this university family. The Western experience is real, and I use the word cautiously, but it is unique in American higher education, and we are very fortunate to be a part of it. But that Western experience, the traditions, the spirit, the values of this university are being shaped day by day, piece by piece, intellectual progress, one step at a time, by our faculty, by our students, and by those who support this institution, tangibly and intangibly, in so many ways. Just today, Lois Gray, chairman of our Board of Regents, the Board of Regents Executive Committee took action to recommend to the full Board of Regents at its upcoming meeting on October 31st a $5.8 million initiative aimed directly at academic quality, 30 added faculty positions, support for graduate assistance, increased scholarship, merit, and need-based aid, classroom improvements, expansion of our South Campus, operating budgets for academic departments, professional development support for our faculty, a whole range of new initiatives just approved by our Board of Regents today that, again, is elevating Western in a progressive and aggressive manner at a time when other institutions are doing their best to figure out what they're going to do tomorrow. I'm so proud to be part of this family and all that you represent. Thank you for what you've done for Western, what you'll do in the future, and students, thank you for what you bring to this campus and our classrooms every day, and I can't wait to look every one of you in the eye at a graduation sometime this year or next year or the year after, say thank you, congratulations, well done, and I'm proud to be a Hilltopper. Thank you very much.
That concludes our evening. Thank you so much for coming. I did want to close by recognizing one member of my staff who, a lot of folks worked on this dinner, but Jill Blythe, would you raise your hand in the back? Join me in thanking Jill. Again, thank you for all of our students and donors tonight for coming, and please drive safely.